Give the test in a quiet environment. Okay. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Question 1. The following audios are examples reflecting different problems that can occur in the microphone. So quality is bad. Please listen to each other carefully. Grabbing the audio. Available attempts 1. Start recording your response whenever you are ready. Maximum recording time 1 minute.
I would prefer it in Delhi because this is my hometown. I would prefer it in Delhi because this is my hometown. I would prefer it in Delhi because this is my hometown. I would prefer it in Delhi because this is my hometown. I would prefer it in Delhi because this is my hometown. I would prefer it in Delhi because this is my hometown.
For preferably, I will choose hometown.
If I get a chance, I would buy a new home.
If I get a chance, for preferably, I will choose hometown.
If I get a chance, I would buy a new home. If I get a chance, I would buy a new home. If I get a chance, I would buy a new home.
The ship sailed 2 hours ago. Is when the farmer came, but no food.
Following what is an example reflecting different problems.
If we hurt, what say take 2 degrees sleeping.
My friends because she is very friendly.
The only reason is I'm not having a proper group of friends to play kabaddi.
There are several factories that multiples are working.
I never actually got to play the game a lot, but I read a lot about it and I watched a Steffi Graf and Stefan Edberg have been my all-time favorites. In fact, tennis still remains my favorite game. I never actually got to play the game a lot, but I read a lot about it and I
Your nails are polished, but your shoes are not. What a shame. The jars are on the shelf. Excuse me, may I have some chicken soup, please? The sack of potatoes is in the drawer. The Vagabond Steakhouse is an incredible restaurant on wheels. Continue saying yes, but remember, honesty and hard work will never cease to prevail. Bill was a shrewd yet enterprising businessman who lost his shop in a blizzard. She is a patient of schizophrenia which causes hallucinations and disables speech. Pizza, blue skies, and a quiet beach. Thank you, goddess. I can relax here, otherwise, the walk would have driven me crazy. Have you heard of shadow boxing? It is a technique used in combat sports. It prepares your muscles for intense physical activity, tones them, and aids weight loss as well.
I was awestruck by his shiny green cell phone.
I was awestruck by his shiny green cell phone.
Pay for the vegetables in cash.
Pay for the vegetable in the cash.
I am afraid you are making silly excuses.
I am afraid you are making silly excuses.
As usual, the Commission has devised some great schemes.
As usual, the Commission has devised some skills.
Our estimate is that the population explosion is twice of what it was in the past decade.
Our estimate the population explosion is twice ever in past.
I must be cautious during travel. I tend to have seizures if I get fatigued.
I must be cautious during traveling.
She lives in a shady establishment full of seemingly conniving spiders.
She lives in a scravious spiral full for in
His inspiring speech and humble demeanor convinced me that he was a trailblazer.
his convincing speech, his inspiring. Types of weather include sunny rains, cloudy windows, snowy, stormy, which can be accompanied by phenomena like hail, fog, thunder, lightning, and even severe events such are tornadoes and hurricanes. These conditions are driven by factors like temperature, air pressures, humidity. The recent experience, I would like to highlight one more thing that is the United Nations are working on Palestinian issues that related with Israel. Israel, as per the UN and as per some few countries from the UN nations, they are meeting and they are connecting to each other and they are talking on the issues that Israeli doing genocides on Gaza. As per the UN, I am not saying that that's a genocide, but they are reporting like that. So, from the different nations, from the different European countries, they are voting uh, to recognize a state for the Palestine, and the Palestine is about to recognize a state. Definitely, that's a good question. If I had ultimated like unlimited resources, then definitely I will work on that to make the world a better place. For an example, I would like to talk one more thing on one thing, and that is like there are multiple things in the world, like for the environment. Like day by day, our environment is getting very noisy. The environment is being disturbed by the population, huge populations, and the traffic noise, and the cutting trees. These are things is being happening in like in our country also. So first, if I get the resources, definitely I will work on that and I will make the world better. We saw him.
Mike was a bodybuilder. He traveled all over the world and won many competitions between 1980 and 1990. His biggest win was the 1985 Chicago Championship, where he won against Tom Poehler. Mike was famous but humble. He loved wearing blue. It was his favorite color. One day, he decided not to compete anymore. Now he trains other young bodybuilders. Recently, one of his students asked him if he misses participating. To this, Mike happily said that he is participating a lot more through his students. Petra was a renowned storyteller. She traveled all over the world, and the more she traveled, the more stories she added to her collection. Petra told stories to several different audiences, and everyone, children and adults alike, loved listening to her. But her favorite age group was that of senior citizens. She once mentioned in an interview that while performing for seniors, especially those who were over 70, she felt like she was time traveling and learning from their experiences too. Petra is now writing a book on her journeys, both emotional and professional. Reading, traveling, and meeting intriguing people are the highlights of a journalist's life, and I am over the moon. 2 years ago, I met David Saldana, my idol. His life was hardly a rags to riches narrative. He was more like a phoenix rising fiercely from the ashes. Having tasted success and wealth early, David could have had a life of red carpets and sunshine. However, he chose to travel a completely unfamiliar route. He began educating homeless street urchins and then helping them find a career path. He supported them emotionally and financially, and some of them are now successful entrepreneurs.